Dayna, and I'm here today to talk to you guys about slavery and sex trafficking. The two largest human trafficking events on the planet happened this year. One of them took place just a few weeks ago, and most likely in some way you participated in it. It was the Super Bowl, and the second will take place during the World Cup. Things like forced labor, also known as involuntary servitude, child sex trafficking, and debt bondage among migrant workers are all happening to our neighbors, our friends, our co-workers, and even our own families. As a Christian, I understand that in God's eyes this is wrong, but as a human and a married woman who one day wants her own children, I can't stand the thought of these poor children being taken and forced into such acts. That women and teenage girls are being abused, and men and women abused for their labor. Slavery and sex trafficking obviously has detrimental effects on those whom it involves and on society. However, by educating the uneducated and putting God's word into action, there can be a positive outcome and hopefully an end. I will validate my statements by providing facts and statistics regarding this topic in today's world, sharing God's view on the topic, and explaining ways in which my church has or can further help this cause. As many as 3,000 children in the U.S. are at risk for sex trafficking every year. As many as 2.8 million children live on the streets, a third of whom are lured into prostitution within 48 hours after leaving home. Investigators and researchers estimate the average predator in the U.S. can make more than $200,000 a year off of one young girl. And 600,000 to 800,000 people are bought and sold across international borders every year, 50% of which are children, and most of them are female. The majority of these victims are forced into commercial sex trade. This brings me to my second point, God's view. In Genesis, when God created man, he said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, the cattle, the earth, and over every creeping thing on the earth." And in Exodus, God spoke of what is to happen if you bring harm to another human life. If men fight and hurt a woman with child, so that she gives birth prematurely, but no harm follows, he shall surely be punished according as the woman's husband imposes, and he shall pay as the judges determine. But if any harm follows, then you shall give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, and stripe for stripe. And in Proverbs, God spoke of the things he hates most, one of them being a hand that sheds innocent blood. These 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and a hand that sheds innocent blood. For my third and final point, I would like to show you how one church has made an impact in hopes of enlightening you and encouraging you to take that step of faith as well. So, what have we done so far? Manna Church in Fayetteville, North Carolina created a funding mechanism that raised $306,689.62 for human trafficking rescue efforts. Their ATK funds paid for a 15-year-old girl they rescued to be relocated away from her trafficker to a restoration center in another part of the country in cooperation with the FBI. And Fayetteville led the largest SCTnow.org walk in the nation 2 years running and raised the largest amount of money than any other city in the nation, including cities in New York City and Tulsa. This brings me to my conclusion. It should come as no surprise that slavery and sex trafficking is happening right in front of our faces, to our neighbors, friends, co-workers, even family members. After hearing the facts, knowing what God's word says about the sanctity of human life and the ways in which we can help, this problem should hopefully soon come to an end. I'd like to encourage you to take the steps of faith into finding out how you and your friends, or you and your family, or even your church can help with this cause. It's not just happening overseas anymore. It's happening all around us right here in the United States. Please don't be naive about what's happening. Educate yourself and act. As Gandhi so simply put it, you must be the change you want to see in the world. Thank you.